Welcome to Gwen's Corner. I'm Gwen, this is my corner. We're doing My Chemical Romance today. Alright, so My Chemical Romance is a technically emo rock band. I say technically because Gerard Way himself has said that they're not an emo band, but the people have spoken, it's an emo band. It was started in 2002 by Gerard Way, who's the frontman and singer, Mikey Way, his younger brother, who plays bass, as well as Ray Toro on first guitar. The band started in 2001 after Gerard Way witnessed 9/11 and said, I gotta put my comic book career on hold and go start a band. After recording most of their first album, they brought on Frank Iero, or Iero, I'm not Italian, I don't think anyone is, to play second guitar with Ray Toro. So that's our main four. There was also the drummer Bob Brayer, but if you want more information about him and his complicated time with the band, go watch a different video because I don't care to get into it. So if you haven't seen my last video where I talked about every Radiohead song, I'm basically just going to do the same thing, but with My Chemical Romance, because MCR is really my favorite band. Ooh, let me put up, sorry, I wanted to have my little Gerard Way there. Where was I? So starting off in 2002, we have their first song that they ever recorded. I don't know if it was released in 2002, but I know it was recorded in 2002. Jack the Ripper. It's pretty fun. Kind of one of their more punk songs for like. Anyways, then we have their first album, I Brought You My Bullets, But You Brought Me Your Love, featuring the songs Romance, Honey This Mirror Isn't Big Enough for the Both of Us, Vampires Will Never Hurt You, Drowning Lessons, Our Lady of Sorrows, Head First for Halos, Skylines and Turnstiles, Early Sunsets over over Monroeville. This is the Best Day Ever, Cubicles, and lastly, Demolition Lovers. So this is their first full album, right? It's amazing. Again, they only got Ray Toro. No, they had Ray Toro. They only got Frank Iero on recording for like the last little bit of it. But this really highlights how well Ray and Frank work together with the guitars and stuff. It's incredible. They blend their sounds together so well. It's awesome. Again, I'm not very good at like music stuff, like at all. So my favorites from this album are all of them. Does that count? I like all of them. I think this is my favorite album of theirs. Yeah, I'll stick with that for now. This is my favorite album of theirs. I guess the most notable ones are Honey This Mirror Is Big Enough for the Both of Us, Vampires Will Never Hurt You, Early Sunsets over Monroeville. It's pretty well known, pretty popular one. And Demolition Lovers, for sure. Oh my gosh, Demolition Lovers is beautiful. I love that song. Notable about Skylines and Turnstiles, I mentioned earlier that Gerard Way started this band after he saw 9/11, and this song is kind of about that experience of seeing it. And I think in an interview he said he saw this horrible disaster while getting off of the subway and was like, life's too short, dude, I gotta make a band. And he did, and it was amazing. Yeah, it's 2002. Good year for MCR. They were off to a very good start. On to the next. Alright, 2004, we have the next full album, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Also in 2004, MCR was part of like a collaborative project thing where a bunch of emo bands recorded Christmas songs. They did a cover of All I Want for Christmas Is You this year. So we have on here Helena, Give 'Em Hell Kid, To the End, You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison, I'm Not Okay, I Promise. Those are parentheses. What? Those parentheses? Sorry, I messed up. The Ghost of You, The Just Life Is Gonna Kill You, Interlude, Thank You for the Venom, Hang 'Em High, and It's Not a Fashion Statement, It's a Death Wish. MCR, similarly to Radiohead, likes their long titles. Whoa there, Gwen. this is Gwen from the future. You forgot to put Cemetery Drive on the track list. Notable songs from this album are Helena, which is kind of like the blueprint for emo music in the 2004 and 5 time. These guys put in the work to make emo culture, along with other bands. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, it's all MCR and stuff. I know there was a lot of really amazing bands, like the other ones. I don't know. Also, we have You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison, which is about being sentenced to prison and then being gay in prison and then falling in love with a guy in prison and then being like, maybe this whole prison thing's not so bad. But it is bad. Ghost of You is about a soldier in World War II. Thank You for the Venom is another one of their like more popular songs. And yeah. My favorites from this album are To the End, I'm Not Okay. Oh, I'm Not Okay, I Promise is also really notable. Again, very important to the culture of the time. I also really like Interlude. So Interlude is just, it doesn't have lyrics to it, it's just instrumental. But I like it, so I included it. And Thank You for the Venom, I did like, but I was like one of the first MCR songs I got into, so I listened to it over and over and over again, and now I'm really sick of it. And I kind of can't stand it, but it's still a good song. Yeah, that's it for this album from me. This album has a very specific tone to it, and each of their main 4 albums do. They're all very set styles and tones and stuff, and you see that evolution through the band's career over the 20 years that they were making music. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I like this album more than Bullets, but it's really good, really solid. MCR is really good at having a good theme and sticking with it. And each of their albums has kind of like a hidden storyline type thing. I'm pretty sure 3 Cheers is something like this guy has to kill 100 evil men to maybe get back with his lover? I don't know. I know a lot of weird stuff about MCR, but not that much. I don't know why, I've never looked into it. I should. On my sleeve. In 2005, we have a B-side release for 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, entitled Life on the Murder Scene. On this release, they did all the original album, or all the original songs, but then they also have a handful of demos. Most notably, though, Bury Me in Black, which is a whole original new song. It's good stuff. Then later in 2005, MCR helped out with the soundtrack for, what was it called? What's his name? Tony Hawk. For Tony Hawk's skateboarding game thing, they made a song for it, Astro Zombies. And then they recorded a cover of Under Pressure with, what was the other band? With the other band they used. It's pretty good. Of Queen songs, I don't really like this one, but it's pretty good. It's MCR. They kind of put their own twist and touch on it and stuff. And I know that one time at a concert, one of the guitarists from Queen performed with the band, which was totally awesome. These guys are so cool. They're just so cool. Yeah, pretty mild year for MCR in 2005. That was the year that I was born, though. Yeah. Alright, 2006, we got The Black Parade. This is probably the album that MCR is most known for, because it's a sick-ass album. So, it's pretty well known that this album is a story of a guy who dies, and then he goes to the afterlife, which is the Black Parade. And each song on the album is a different part of that story. So we have The End as the first song, because it's silly. Dead, This Is How I Disappear, The Sharpest Lives, Welcome to the Black Parade, I Don't Love You, House of Wolves, Cancer, Mama, Teenagers, Disenchanted, Famous Last Words, and the hidden track, Blood. It's hidden because on the CD, it's after like 4 or 5 minutes of just silence, and then it plays. Because it's silly. Some notable songs, The End and Dead go together, like they transition into each other. Welcome to the Black Parade was actually 2 separate songs. So the intro and then the main part, like that part, they were 2 separate songs. But then they kind of weren't enough on their own to be 2 separate songs, so they were like, let's combine them. And then they made the most iconic song of their career. Crazy. Cancer is very much about cancer. And it's sad. It's a sad, sad song. It makes me sad. I think, I can't remember if it was Frank Iero or Ray Toro, but one of them said that every time they listen to the song, they kind of tear up a bit. Because it's a very powerful song, like, and especially, this is loud, and especially, like, Gerard Way's singing performance in it. That's something to know about Gerard Way. This guy is all in this music stuff. Like, balls to the walls, this guy commits. That's a weird sentence I said. Moving on, we have Mama, which is to the patient's mother. The guy who dies in it dies of cancer naturally, obviously, and he's referred to as the patient. So that song is directed to his mom. Fun fact about it, a lot of the band members' parents sang on it. There's like a big chorus part, and that's made up of all of their moms and dads and stuff, and that's pretty cool. Teenagers was written after Gerard Way got off of work, and he was taking the subway home, and it was around the same time that the high school got out, so he was in a train cart full of teenagers, and he was like, this is scary, and so he wrote a song about it. And then, yeah, I already talked about Blood, so that's all the weird stuff I know about this song. Oh wait, no, Disenchanted. Frank Iero really wanted, Mikey Way. I have so many fun facts, and all these names, they just jumble around in my head. Woo! So I could be totally getting all this stuff wrong. But I believe Mikey Way said that he really fought to have Disenchanted on the album, and while they were sleeping, why is that on here? Okay, I forgot one of the songs on my original list written down, which is crazy because it's one of my favorite songs of them. After Mama and Before Teenagers is Sleep. I like this song. This song, it features recording of Gerard talking about the horrible night terrors that he would get while they were writing the song, because they were staying at this weird house that was probably haunted. So Mikey would sleep on Gerard Way's bedroom floor because he didn't want to sleep by himself, and they're really cute brothers, and they really love each other. It's adorable. Also, one of them said that every time they listen to the recording of Gerard talking about the nightmares, really like creeps them out and stuff. What was I saying right before that? Yeah, Disenchanted. Mikey, he would whisper Disenchanted into the other members' ears while they were sleeping, so that to like make them think about the song and put it on the album, and it worked. We have it on the album. It's a great song. My personal favorites of this album are The End and Dead, Together, You Gotta, This Is How I Disappear, House of Wolves, Sleep. I love this song. And Disenchanted was pretty good. I also really like Blood. I like Blood. Yes. I feel that some of these songs, to me, have been overplayed, so I don't appreciate them as much. But they're all really solid songs. Very good album altogether. Some people say that it's overrated, which is stupid. Because I feel like, and this happens a lot, if there's a popular album, people are like, oh, well, it's so overrated because it's so popular. But it's popular because it's good. Like, these are good songs. They're not overrated. They're rated. They're rated well. Okay. We're still in 2006. We have B-side for The Black Parade, which, again, has all of the other Black Parade songs, as well as Heaven Help Us, Kill All Your Friends, and My Way Home Is Through You. These are fun songs. I don't know why they didn't put them on the album. I mean, I don't know what it takes to, like, have a song be put on an album. But if I were in charge, I would include these because they're awesome. Also in 2006, a couple miscellaneous ones. Desert Song, which I don't know what it's about. It just kind of is, and it's a good song. Also, Song 2, which is a cover of Song 2 by Blur. I know I'm kind of biased, but I like the MCR version better. I think it just has a better, like, feeling, kind of. I don't know how to talk about music. I don't know why I do these. Yeah, these are all really good. I like them. Good year. Got Black Parade, and then the B-side. Awesome. On to the next. If you thought we were done talking about the Black Parade, you're wrong. We're not. 2008, MCR was on tour for the Black Parade, and then for their final show in Mexico City, Mexico, they recorded it all to release as The Black Parade is Dead, which is essentially just a re-release, or a live recording of the Black Parade. But it features The Black Parade is Dead, which isn't a song. It's Gerard. It isn't a song. It's Gerard talking to the audience, being like, "We love you guys. It's Mexico. The Black Parade is dead. This is the last time we're ever gonna perform Welcome to the Black Parade." But that was a lie. They had a reunion tour in 2022, and they performed it again. So Gerard's a liar. Also, on the Wikipedia list, it has a track listed untitled, but it's actually just "Stay," which they performed live at Mexico City, but the recording of it was done, I think, before, like, definitely before the Black Parade. I don't know when. I didn't put a ton of research into this. I just like talking about My Chemical Romance. Yep. I forgot to mention the untitled song is also known as Stay or Someone Out There Loves You. Something like that. Just a little note. In 2009, they released one song, Desolation Row, for the soundtrack for the movie Watchmen. Great song. I really like it. It's very fun, very stick to the man kind of punk. I have complicated feelings about punk music, but I like MCR. They're not punk. It depends. Okay. I know music genres are a very subjective thing, and what genre I think one band fits into, someone might not think it does. I think MCR teeters on punk music, especially in their later albums. But it kind of depends on what you think punk music is about and, like, what it sounds like. It's a very complicated thing that I don't know enough about to really get into. I have a lot of feelings on punk people, though. Ooh, especially like punk bands started by people who, like, aren't fucking punk. I dated this guy who's in a punk band, and he sucked, and he wasn't punk because he just doesn't respect women, which is not punk. Like, the whole point of punk is like it seems like super hardcore and stuff, but it's based on basic human respect. Like, that's the basis of punk. Everything that, like, people have rights, people deserve those rights, we need to respect people. That's what punk is about. Punk is kind. That's what it is. It's respecting things. And this band was not kind. Their bassist would, like, slut shame girls at our high school, and their drummer full on homophobe, just, like, hates gay people. And then this guy had the audacity one day to be like, Kurt Cobain would be, like, so disappointed by the way that people have, like, treated his music and stuff, and, like, capitalized on his merchandise and whatever. I'm like, dude, Kurt Cobain didn't fucking hate gay people, so I don't know what you're I'm getting so worked up. I need to move on. Future is bulletproof. The aftermath is secondary. It's time to do it now and do it loud. Killjoys, make some noise. 2010, we got Day to Days, the true and fabulous lives of the Killjoys. This album has a lot of lore because it's based off of a comic book that Gerard Way wrote, entitled The True and Fabulous Lives of the Killjoys. That's what it's called. Which is a 3-part series. They have the Killjoys, and then I think a sequel to that, and then a prequel, National Anthem. To briefly explain the comic book, it's kind of like, it's kind of like cyberpunk, but less cyber and more punk, and also in the desert. I've never played cyberpunk. I hope that's accurate. It's just 4 guys out in the desert shooting shit, doing whatever, killing, taking down the government. This album is anti-government, which kind of goes into their more punk themes, stick to the man kind of stuff. But I don't care about that. It's fine. I don't care about it. So we have on here, na 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 na. Bulletproof Heart sing Planetary Go. The Only Hope for Me Is You, Party Poison, Save Yourself, Scarecrow, Summertime, Destroya, The Kid from Yesterday, and Vampire Money. Note that So this album is kind of album inception in that it's written by the Killjoys, or like the Killjoys perform it. So Gerard Way is now Party Poison, Frank Iero is Fungool, Ray Toro is Jetstar, and Mikey Way is Kid Cobra. The little self-insert characters. I personally love that Gerard Way was like, I got this comic based off of me living out in the desert with my best friends, and we take down the government. Let's write an album about it. Hell yeah, Gerard Way. You do that, man. You write that album. Oh, I love it. So, this album also had 3 kind of spoken part things by the narrator, Dr. D. Dr. Deathify, his full name. His government name is Dr. Deathify. And he's like a radio station host, and so he introduces the album with a little monologue that plays before na 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 na. And then also before Party Poison, he has Jetstar, Cobra Kid / Traffic Report, where he basically says Jetstar and Cobra. Did I say Death Star earlier? That's embarrassing. Jetstar and Cobra Kid got into a tussle with the local government goons, and they got shot and died. But I don't think they actually died because of the music videos. Hang on. Okay, wait. And then he also talks after The Kid from Yesterday, and he closes off the album and says, well, it's time to say goodnight. Remember, keep running and die with your mask on if you have to. Or something like that. And then he plays the national anthem. Yeah, it's always a shocker when that comes on in the car. I have a little CD of the album that I actually bought. I didn't pirate a CD for once, and I love it. And then Vampire Money plays, and Vampire Money, in the intro of it, they each state their names, or Gerard goes, are you ready, Ray? Yeah, are you ready, Frank? So on and so forth. So presumably Vampire Money is a real world song written by My Chemical Romance, not the Killjoys. Does this make sense? I hope it does. I don't know how else to explain it. Okay. Music-wise, this album is awesome. It's totally different. It's a bit more pop-punk than, a bit more. It's a lot more pop-punk than their previous albums. I know some fans didn't really like the change of it, but I love it when bands mix it up. I really do. So, my favorites from this album, The Only Hope for Me Is You, Party Poison, Scarecrow, Summertime, Destroya, The Kid from Yesterday, Vampire Money. That's just all of them, basically. I love this album. Couple little fun facts and such. So they had 2 music videos released for Na 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 Na, as well as Sing. They're really fun music videos. I like them. Very campy. I think that's right. I'm going to use that word. Anyways, and then they were planning on making a 3rd music video for, I can't remember which song. I think Planetary Go. But it got cut because of the budget stuff. I personally would have paid out of pocket to see it, but I was 5 at the time, so I couldn't. Sorry, guys. In the music videos, though, we have the first one being an introduction to the Killjoys and kind of following through, but at the end of the music video, they get into a fight with, so the government is bad in this universe, and also this universe, and they have the kid from yesterday, the kid who's like gonna grow up and save everything, so they're like protecting the kid, but then the government sends out, what's his name? The director or something like that, to kidnap the kid from yesterday, and so they do a little tussle, but then the Killjoys get stunned, and so now that's at the end of, no, it's music video. Then for the music video for Sing, it's so hot in here. Okay, and then the music video for Sing, they go on a suicide mission to rescue the kid from yesterday, and they all die in the end partially because Party Poison freaks out because he realizes that the goons, the people that they're killing, are people under their masks, and he feels bad about that, and then gets shot, and then they all die. Yeah, it's kind of sad ending. So, and then in the third music video that got cut, they were gonna regenerate like video game characters, but it didn't happen, so now they're just dead. Oh well. Party Poison is the theme for the character Party Poison. It's described as an anti-party song that you can dance along to. Like, it's very like, no guys, we're not partying, we got stuff to do. Awesome song though, I love it. I rock out to Party Poison. And then Summertime was written about Gerard Way's wife, Lindsay Way. I love Lindsay Way. She's so amazing. She's also in a band, or she was in a band, Mindless Self-Indulgence, which yeah, she was also in a band, Mindless Self-Indulgence, which I heard something about the main frontman of that he was kind of weird, but Lindsay Way is an angel and I love her. I wish I was married to Gerard Way. Anyways, so he wrote the song Summertime about her because while they were on Warped Tour, I think the year before this, I don't pay attention to concerts because I can't go to them and that makes me sad, but they would write secret little messages to each other on their arms while they were performing, and which is so adorable. And in one of them she wrote, "Will you run away with me?" and he wrote back, "Anytime, anywhere, yes, I love you so much, my beautiful, wonderful wife." He didn't write all that. So Summertime was written kind of about that interaction and running away with his wife, which is adorable. Destroya is, Gerard Way once tweeted out that it was about kids singing to a metal statue in India. I think there's a festival of, I want to say like Colors or something like that. But yeah, little kids sing to a giant metal statue. And that's what Destroya is about. Vampire Money's about vampires. Yep. Also, I believe, is it Planetary Go? Yeah, in Planetary Go, it has the line, "Faith is now acceptable, fame is now injectable," which Gerard Way has said is the best MCR lyric they've written. Yeah, I think that's all the little fun facts I know about this album. Oh, the album cover was taken by Frank Iero while he was in the desert with his wife, and then I think that was the time that he proposed to his wife. I wish I was married to Frank Iero. Okay. Alright, it's gonna be confusing, but so still in 2010 we have the B-side for Danger Days with the songs We Don't Need Another Song About California, which, true, California sucks. I live in California, I can say that. And also 0%. These are good, they're fun. Yeah. Also released around this time, I don't know if it's 2010 or 2011, they did a cover of the Pulp song, Common People, which I think goes along with the Danger Days stuff because the cover for the single has this mailbox that is referenced in the Danger Days, the Killjoys stuff, so I just put it here with this stuff. It's awesome. Although, unlike their last cover, I prefer the Pulp version. I just think it's better. So this is where the album Inception thing kind of comes in because in 2011 they released the EP Mad Gear and Missile Kid, and this is not released by My Chemical Romance nor the Killjoys, but by the fictional band Mad Gear and Missile Kid, which is in the Killjoy universe. Who was mowing their lawn? Which is in the universe of the Killjoys, and this is what they listen to while they drive around in the horrible, horrible desert that they live in. And they live in the desert because they got kicked out of the main city, by the way. So on here we have the songs Fuck the Whole Wide World, Master of Ravencroft, and Black Dragon Fighting Society. These songs are about sleeping with a sex droid, going to a club and sleeping with old men, and drinking juice while fighting people. Fun times! I love this album. I think it's awesome. It leans more into like the punk aspect than Danger Days. Also, I just love that they released it. Yeah, we basically wrote a fanfiction album of our self-insert characters of Gerard Way's comic books. Here's the songs that they listened to, and because we're an awesome band, we're just gonna write and produce those songs too. I love it. It's silly. I love it. I love it. I would like to note that a lot of credit goes to Gerard Way for these songs because he's the frontman and he was very responsible for the aesthetics and lyrics of all these songs and stuff. But all the members were very instrumental to it. I know Ray Toro is listed as producer a lot, and he is amazing on the guitar, and so he was very, what's the word, prolific? I don't know if prolific's the right word, but it sounds like the right word, so I'm going to use it. He was very, his guitar writing was prolific and awesome and great, and I love him. I love Ray Toro. He gets forgotten a lot because he's just such a sweet guy. I don't know why, and it bugs me because he did so much for My Chemical Romance, and I don't think we talk enough about how important Ray Toro was to the band, and all of them. Like, Frank Iero was also very important to the band. I don't really know what it takes to be in a band or what everyone contributed, but it wasn't all just Gerard Way. And as I talk about this, it's gonna sound like that, like I'm saying that, but I don't want to give credit to everybody every single time, so I mostly just pin it on Gerard Way because he's a frontman, and that's the frontman's job. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, good songs. Also in 2011, My Chemical Romance was on the show Yo Gabba Gabba. I love this show when I was a kid, and I love that they were on this show. It's a great song, too. It's a really good song. It's not really good. It's fun. It fits with the show, but also their vibe, and I think that's impressive that they did that. Yeah. Good times. And then 2012, I'm just throwing this in here. 2012, they did the soundtrack for another movie, what is it? Something Iron Fist. And that song was titled Hell Hath No Fury. I guess I could just find the movie that was on, but I can't find just the song of it, and it plays in the background of a fighting scene, so I don't know, but they wrote a song, so I included it. Yo Gabba Gabba. The thing about the Yo Gabba Gabba song, it's funny because of Stephenie Meyers. The thing about Stephenie Meyers, she's the author of the Twilight series. And she wrote Twilight inspired by My Chemical Romance. There were other things that inspired her, but it's funnier to say that it is all because of My Chemical Romance. So then after that got really popular and they started making it into movies and stuff, Stephenie Meyers was like, dude, we gotta get MCR on this soundtrack, and MCR said, no, we don't want to do that. So they didn't. But they immediately said yes to Yo Gabba Gabba, which is funny. The Stephenie Meyer thing is a complicated web of events that I'm going to get into at the end. So stay tuned for that. Now that we're out of the very complicated 2010 Killjoys and all the stuff that goes with it, I have to go to a board meeting, so I will finish recording this stuff later. Okay, I'm back. I had to go to a school board meeting. I didn't have to go, I chose to. Sometimes people in the public comic sessions get heated, and I was really hoping someone would fight. No one did. It was pretty boring. Anyways, so now we're in 2012 to 2013. This is when MCR released 5 albums of 2 songs, which are the Conventional Weapons series, whatever you want to call it. We have Boy Division, Tomorrow's Money, Ambulance Gun, The World is Ugly, The Light Behind Your Eyes, and then this is 2013 now. Kiss the Ring, Make Room, Surrender the Night, and Burn Bright. This is my favorite. collection of albums. No, I still like Bullets more. It's tough because I like so many of the songs from each album that it's hard to say which one's my favorite. Like, I could count them out and find, like, the percentage of songs I like, which I've done for Deftones because I'm insane, but, I love them all. I love them all. Off this album, my favorites are Boy Division, Ambulance Gun, The World is Ugly, Make Room, and Surrender the Night. These songs are, they kind of teeter more into the punk style. I don't know about lyrics, because I don't know anything about anything. That's not true, I'm pretty smart. Yeah, so this has a different tone. Oh my gosh. So these have a different tone. I'd say they're more aggressive, maybe not aggressive, but punchy. That's a good word. They have a bit more punch to them than, say, Sweet Revenge or The Black Parade. They're really good. I like them. It's another example of MCR wants to make something, and so they make it, and they make it good, and I like that. I like that a lot. I love My Chemical Romance. So now in 2014, they released The Black Parade again. I think this was another live recording with the additional song of Fake Your Death. Oh, and this was called May Death Never Stop You, because in the last time that they did this and did the live recording, it was The Black Parade is Dead, and then they did it again, so death didn't stop them. And then in 2016, we have another release of The Black Parade. The Black Parade, Living with Ghosts. These are not live recordings. This is a re-release with demo and alt version tracks. We have The Five of Us Are Dying, which was originally going to be the title of The Black Parade, but Gerard Way had some next level foresight and said, let's not name it that, which is good because after that it was the four of them. That would have been awkward. So then we also have Party at the End of the World, Not That Kind of Girl, House of Wolves version 1 and 2, Emily, and All the Angels. These are awesome. I love these. They're really fun. They're very interesting. But what's best about them is that they're demo tracks, which means that you can hear like all the parts of their voices and stuff. And I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure that Gerard Way does all the vocals for the songs. But in these ones, you can hear Ray Toro singing the harmonies and stuff, like he does live. I want to see a live show if they're so bad. But I'm not gonna. And that makes me sad. So, my favorites from these are Party at the End of the World, Not That Kind of Girl, and All the Angels. I mean, I like all of these. I could say that about every album. I like them all, but these are my favorites. You'd think I'd be better at talking about MCR, because I do that like all day, every day, but I'm not. That's fine. Alright, so after 5 years of nothing, and people begging and begging and begging for MCR 5, 2022 rolled around, and they dropped The Foundations of Decay. I wish I had an awesome story about how amazing it was when they released this, but I wasn't that into MCR at the time. I got into their music in like 24 when I was depressed. And it cured my depression! Woohoo! Whoa, crazy! Foundations of Decay. It's a great song. Really beautiful stuff. Another just Gerard Way and the gang showing off their skills. That sounds stupid. Oh my gosh. I'm moving on. Alright. So that was all of their official release stuff. Now we got the unreleased stuff. I know that there's more of these. I'm not going to seek them out though. We have The Drugs, Sister to Sleep, and Still Alive. These are awesome. They're fun, especially Sister to Sleep. I really like, out of all their songs, definitely the most like rowdy punk songs. And I know that I keep mentioning that and then saying how much I hate punk stuff and music, but I like it. I like when MCR does it. They do it well. conclusion time! My Chemical Romance. Whoa. Let's just say, what else is there to say about it? It's a great band, great guys making good music. It's awesome. So just to review albums, 2002, we got I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. 2004, Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. 2006, The Black Parade. 2010, Danger Days, The True and Fabulous Lives of the Killjoys. And then 2012 through 13, Conventional Weapon series. And then we have lots of demos, lots of singles, a couple covers, good stuff. So that's a total of about 90 songs. Again, I know that there are more demos and unreleased songs out there. I skipped over some demos for Knives and Sorrow, which is another song from Black Parade, I just can't remember which song. And then Skylines and Turnstiles, Cubicles, Kill All Your Friends, Mama, My Way Home Is You, Disenchanted, I Never Told You What I Do for a Living, and Bury Me in Black. So, there's other versions of these songs. I love My Chemical Romance. I love them so much. Because they're such genuine guys and artists and stuff, and like, I really respect, like, I don't know, I respect the art that they make and stuff, and it's great. I'm a total fangirl about them. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say on the topic. So now that I've said my piece about My Chemical Romance, it's time that I explain the 9/11 MCR pipeline. It's a doozy. Brace yourself. This is the My Chemical Romance 9/11 butterfly effect. I called it a pipeline earlier. I meant to say butterfly effect. We're starting off 2001, 9/11, right? Gerard Way sees the towers fall. He makes My Chemical Romance. Right, we already talked about that. So then, Stephenie Meyers is a big fan of My Chemical Romance and some other emo bands, and she takes inspiration and writes the Twilight Saga. That gets adapted into a movie series. We'll go back to Soundtrack, actually. So then the movie series, and then Robert Pattinson is casted as Edward, and he becomes very famous and popular. And then through that, he plays Batman in Batman. Because of that role, he was able to meet with Christopher Nolan, the director of Oppenheimer, and he said, hey Christopher Nolan, buddy, old pal of mine, check out this book, it's pretty cool. Guess what that book was? It was Robert J. Oppenheimer's autobiography thing. Christopher Nolan liked that book so much that he was like, I gotta make a movie out of this. Now we have one of my favorite movies, Oppenheimer. Going back up to the Twilight movies though, they asked MCR to do the soundtrack. They said no. And then inspired by the movies, Gerard Way wrote Vampire Money. And then MCR broke up for a little bit. Mikey Way wanted to take some time off and do his own thing for a bit. He was having a lot of mental problems, so yeah, they were like, oh, we're done, and everyone said, no, please don't do this. And then they said, psych, we're going on a reunion tour, and everyone said, awesome. So on that tour, back to Batman, actually, Gerard Way tweeted out that him and his wife loved the movie so much that they watched it 2 times, and they really loved Robert Pattinson. So then while they're on that reunion tour, Gerard Way wears an Edward t-shirt while singing. That's kind of the end of that, but it's a funny little trail. Now let's go back up to the movies. We have E.L. James writes an MCR fanfiction called Ruler of the World. This fanfiction becomes really popular, and they change it to 50 Shades of Grey. That becomes really popular, and they make a movie. Dakota Johnson stars as the main what's-her-face victim in that movie, and she becomes really popular, so she gets invited onto The Ellen Show. On The Ellen Show, Ellen is like, oh, why don't you invite me to your birthday party? Dakota Johnson's like, I did, Ellen. Last year, you didn't want to come, so I didn't invite you this year. Because you didn't want to come. And then everyone saw that and went, oh, Ellen DeGeneres is a jerk. Remember when she made Mariah Carey? Was it Mariah Carey? One of those, that one really famous female singer drink champagne on her show and then forced her to announce that she was having a baby. And then she lost that baby, and she was like, I wish I hadn't told the world that I was having a baby because I had a miscarriage instead, and now this all sucks, and thanks, Ellen. And everyone was like, oh, Pshaw. But now we all really hate Ellen DeGeneres because she's sucks, and all of her like employees started coming out and being like, yeah, she just yells at us like all day every day, and yeah, no one likes Ellen DeGeneres. She gets her show taken away from her. That's the end of Ellen DeGeneres. Now let's go back up to Twilight, the book, not the movie, the book. So follow this weird little swoopy thing here. Felipe Neto, who is a Brazilian YouTuber, writes a review about Twilight. And his little brother is like, I want to be on YouTube, so his little brother, Lucas Neto, he makes a YouTube channel. This channel becomes really popular. And because of that, thousands of Portuguese children now speak with a Brazilian accent. And that leads to the death of the Portuguese dialect. There's probably more little tendrils that you could add into this. It's kind of a lot. That's it for the My Chemical Romance video. It's one of my favorite bands. Clearly. Yep. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched to the whole end, that's awesome. Let me know in the comments if you've been affected by the MCR 9/11 butterfly effect. For me personally, when I was a kid, I was walking through a forest and a witch came up and she said, quick, what's your favorite band? And I said, I don't know. And she said, wrong, it should be My Chemical Romance. And then she put a curse on me. I won't disclose the details of that curse here and now because I don't feel I know you all well enough. Okay, I love you, bye.